everybody, and welcome to Trade with Precision free newsletter. It's the 5th of February 2018, and I'm Tamar. Now, what a fantastic week we had last week in the market, especially comes Friday. And this is a really interesting point because when the media talks about panic in the market and strong sell-offs, to us as traders, it really translates into trading opportunities. Moving markets, no matter which direction they move, are moving markets and can provide us with trading opportunities. Then what happened for a trader or someone who aspired to become a trader in weeks such as those that there were trading opportunities but they were afraid to take them. They weren't sure about the opportunity, they weren't sure about the setup, and then they see the market keep on moving and they're just sitting on the sideline getting afraid to jump in to get into these moving markets, and then when they do, it's actually too late. They jumped in just before the pullback started to happen, and then they found themselves losing money. So it's really important to think about our trading strategy and the setups that we are looking to take before jumping into a trade. But also take a look at the market, take a look at opportunities to not chase the market. We actually have a really fantastic webinars for you that talks exactly about this situation. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that webinar at the end of this video. But now what I want to do is talk about potential trading opportunities for the coming few days. Monday is in. We had a strong, massive move in the market last week, and I'm looking for potential entries. Now, if we'll take a look at the US index market, and I want to take a look here on the Dow. Now, on the Dow, on the daily chart, we can see here we were in a very, very strong uptrend, and currently we broke it and we pulled back into the 50 moving averages. So this is Friday candle, quite a big, quite a massive candle. However, if we move into the higher time frame, we can see that the monthly is still in a very, very strong uptrend, and still there's room to move to pull back into the buy zone, that area between the 10 and the 20 moving averages, really some of this buying pressure and potentially continuing this very strong and multi-year uptrend. When we go into the weekly, we can see that we're simply pulling back into the buy zone. So again, we are in an uptrend, clear series of higher highs and higher lows, pulling back into the buy zone. So I'm watching this area quite carefully. We might see some consolidation around this area, perhaps a bullish candle in this buy zone, maybe some indecision candle in and around this area of the 25,000 round number. The market could even still pull back a bit further, even into the area around the 24,000, and still be in and around the buy zone. So watching this higher time frame quite carefully. But coming back into the daily, and the daily is currently in a downtrend, so I'm looking for short-term trading opportunities, keeping in mind that the higher time frame is still in an uptrend. However, we are pulling back quite strongly. So looking here at the 4 hours, and we can see we had this consolidation above this 26,000 area. We tried to break below it, rejected, held above it until completely broke below it, pull back to test it from below and continue lower. So I like the trend here on the lower time frame, and what I'm looking for is simply pullbacks into the sell zone, the area between the 10 and the 20 moving averages in a downtrend, bearish candle in the sell zone, and a continuation of the shorter term move, keeping in mind that the higher time frame are in an uptrend. Currently, if we'll take a look even at the 1 hour, we can see that we are overextended. So even a pullback in and around this 25, 500, 600 area will be a nice area to look for trading opportunities. I'd like to see at least 2 time frames pulling back into the sell zone for a potential trading opportunity to the short side. Now, let's take a look here on the Nasdaq, and it's quite a similar story over here, and there's a level that I'm watching. We can see there is this 6,800 round number around here. There's also a pivot at this area, and if we pull back into that area, we're going to be back inside the sell zone around the 1 hour and potentially even at the 2 hours as well. You can see there's a couple of touches at that level. You see this on the 4 hours quite clearly. So this is the level that I'm waiting at the moment for the Nasdaq to pull back into. If we'll take a look at the S&P, it's a quite similar story to the Dow, similar higher time frame and a similar looking chart. Again, I'm looking for a pullback. In this case, I'd like to see a bit of a deeper pullback in the 4 hours time frame into the 2800 round numbers. So depend on how big the pullback is going to be or how shallow it's going to be, which of those index market am I going to look at. Lastly, I want to take a look at some forex market because they were moving quite sharply as well. And one of the favorites at the moment for me is euro yen. And if we take a look here at euro yen, we can see this level. It's a very nice, very strong level on this market around the 136.5. If we move into the weekly, we can see that we are in an uptrend, moving averages fanning and in the correct order, and we are pushing into this level, rejecting, pushing, rejecting, pushing, rejecting, until finally last week we broke strongly above it and also closed above that level. So I like the break of that level. I like this level for a pullback to test it from above. So looking here at the daily, we can see that we are currently overextended. I'm looking for a pullback, perhaps on the daily time frame, 8 hours, maybe even the 4 hours time frame, a pullback to test this level from above, see that we actually rejecting this pullback, so see some bullish candle forming above this level and a break above that and a continuation of this very nice move. Now let me tell you a bit about the webinar that we have for you. So this webinar is going to be the key questions before a trade set up, and it's going to run on the 7th of February at 8 p.m. London. Now what we're going to look at in this webinar is mainly the 5 key questions that you need to answer before placing a trade. This webinar is more for intermediate traders or traders that have been trading for a while but have hit a wall. It's a very good webinar and it is going to be run by Hao San, which is one of the most impressive technical trader I know. So we look forward to see you on this webinar. Happy trading everyone, and I'll speak to you soon.